It is believed that our sovereign debt appears to be rising and all that. Do you think this 2013 budget will help in any way too? Do you think there's any plan taken into any plan?
You mean domestic debt or foreign debt?
The domestic debt. Let's look at it from. Let's begin from the domestic
debt. If our domestic debt is rising, it's not the best. So that's why I'm saying we should structure the economy and trim down the cost of governance so that we can pay off that domestic debt and stimulate further growth, the domestic growth of the economy. So as far as foreign debt is concerned, countries will always take loan because of cash flow. You know, when we are talking of this $2.5 million barrels per day, you don't produce the whole barrels in January or January 1st. You spread out your cash flow. You always take foreign loan to match the deficit, you know, month by month or quarter by quarter. So, but I think Nigeria has the capacity to reduce its foreign debt because of our fortune, the largest oil producer in Africa. We have that capacity, unless we are not serious.
But it is believed that about 5% of our daily production is lost to theft every day. About one-fifth of our production is lost to theft.
One-fifth, that's about 20%. That is the work of those that are governing us. We have armed forces, we have Navy, we have Air Force. So, and you remember recently when Mr. President changed the service chiefs, the first mandate he gave them said they should stop terrorism and oil theft. That means it's a serious problem. That means he is aware and he has concern for that.
Right. So it's about the banking sector, pardon me, Mark, because I mean that's a very important sector. We understand here that the interest rates, that's another issue itself. So in this budget proposal, if eventually it's reduced, but we don't know to what exactly. The banking sector, for instance, access to credit, tough, a lot of people think.
This provision here is a fiscal provision. The monetary credit guideline for 2013 is not yet out. But if you work with this year's own, I think the CBN, the two major indicators the CBN are fighting or try to control are the exchange rate and the inflation rate. Those two are terrible bulls in a glass shop. So if you are trying to control exchange rate and inflation rate with all your policies, and you have been using this policy for a long time, it's not working, then you adopt another model. What causes inflation? When the goods are not there, they are not enough to go around. Then what I've been advocating in recent time is that the CBN should ensure that their policy encourages banks to fund the real sector. Then our fiscal policy too should make intervention fund available, where the bank's risk can be absorbed. So when you fund the real production, then you make the goods available, you improve the economy, you grow the GDP, the prices will crash.
Well, you've seen some of the incentives here. I mean, we've seen that for sugar. We've seen for local sugar production.
Yes.
We've also seen some incentive even in the aviation sector.
Yes.
And even in cobbling together of buses, if spare parts and all of that. If you're bringing knockdown buses of at least 40-seater, you'll also get some, zero import duty you get to pay zero import duty, no duty at all. Are you not saying that, these are some of the things that the federal government recognizes must be done to be able to, quicken our industrialization?
Of course, they are part of it. But you now look at, if you do this thing, what is the impact? How many people will it affect? In the United States of America today, the government does things that we can tell you precisely. In month A, we have created so many jobs. How many jobs will be created if you focus on aviation? How many people are patronizing aviation? Is it not the upper class? We are talking of agriculture.
But we're also talking about aviation safety.
Yeah, well, safety is okay. There's no doubt. That we shouldn't make noise about that. Those are normal things every responsible government should do without making noise about it.
All right,
we are talking of things that can grow the economy, things that can provide employment for the youth. That's what we're talking here.
Looking at this budget proposal, and there's always this regular traditional talk about recurrent expenditure and capital expenditure, how they intend to make the capital expenditure a lot better than it's always been such that you can have infrastructural development. But the reality of the fact is that even these MDAs, when they do get their funds, the recurrent expenditure, they still have to grapple with that. I mean, how can they come out of that?
Yes, the ministries, departments, and agencies, definitely they have allocation,
Yeah.
in which once the budget is out, they get the details and they identify projects. In fact, before the budget is out, they will have identified projects, specific projects on which they are going to spend the capital expenditure on. But then the delay in releasing funds will not allow the impact, the expected impact to be felt, because the fund you are supposed to release if, in March, you are getting it in August. So what do you do? But I think this year, this is one of the issues to be addressed. That's why Mr. President is presenting the budget on time.
So
that the
he,
National Assembly
yeah,
can consider it on time.
Yeah,
so
but
that the implementation.
That's the another matter which
Yes.
the National Assembly, House of Reps also focused on, because they will be coming back from this oversight function of theirs to see how well the 2012 budget has performed. But from their perspective, I mean, you heard a little bit of it yesterday, it's just very poor.
That is true.
And so this 2013 budget may have some hitches, they hinted.
It depends. If both agree, I heard in the news this morning when the Senate President was talking that government should be one, that they are parleying, both the legislative arm and the executive, they are parleying now so that they don't see each other as enemies. The government should be one for the goodness of the country. If they see it from that angle, and each one discharges its responsibility at the right time, we shouldn't have a problem.
But you seem to doubt very much the intentions of the National Assembly. The question will be why?
Doubt.
You doubt very much
Yes.
the intentions of the National Assembly. I mean, in terms of all that they have said so far, you can't seem to take it at face value.
No, I'm not doubting their intention. We are living by history. Our experience in this since 1999. That's what we are looking at. Can there be a sudden change? You see, a lot of people, for instance, when you see somebody that goes to National Assembly on the platform of one party, on getting there, he just moved to another party. He's protecting anything interest to him. That's the first thing they will do. Their personal interest first. But we are looking for.
It's not also
we are
like
looking
a line
for people.
of self-preservation.
We are looking for people of honor. People who want to leave their shoes on the sand of time. People who want to stand at the right time. People are looking at. We are looking for in this country.